Let me tell you something most guys never understand. You don't need to be shredded down to 8% body fat to completely change your life. Genuinely, you don't, okay? The magic happens at 15% body fat. Because at 15%, everything changes. The way you look in the mirror, the way your body feels when you wake up, the way people start to treat you. And most guys will never get there. They'll float between 25, 30, 35%, hiding under baggy shirts, telling themselves, they don't care about, abs. But deep down, they do care. They just don't know what it feels like to cross that threshold, cross that barrier. And once you do, once you see 15%, and once you get there, you'll never want to get back to the old you. When you're overweight, life feels heavy and your energy levels are inconsistent, like you wake up groggy, your joints ache, your shirts cling to all the wrong places, and your health risk climbs as well. Diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, every doctor knows it. And I've seen it firsthand at work in the emergency department, guys in their 40s and 50s, showing up, with chest pain, complications of their diabetes, joint issues, completely unaware that, every meal, every missed workout, every excuse was slowly compounding into disaster. And that's what excess body fat does. It just creates this widespread low-level information that doesn't just weigh your body down, it weighs down your entire life. And I've spent most of my adult life being overweight, so I know exactly how it feels. It's hard to explain, but it's like a permanent cloud over your mind. It's always there. It just becomes part of who you are, and it's debilitating. And to be honest with you, man, it's crippling. It really fucking sucks, and it's hard to get out of that mess. But once you fight your way down, to a lower body fat level, and once you fight your way down to a good physique, it's like flipping a switch. Your face looks sharper, your jawline looks good, your waist slims down a bit, you start seeing abs, muscle striations, veins coming through, and you don't just look smaller, you look athletic, especially if you lift weights. And here's the thing, man, 15% body fat is not extreme. It's not starving yourself every day. It's not being miserable, or obsessing over every calorie. It's a really good balance point. Okay, and it's something that you should be striving for if you're overweight, because you'll be lean enough to look impressive, but it's also sustainable enough to still enjoy your life. You can go out with your mates. You can order that burger. You can have a drink. It's not as restrictive as when you're super lean and shredded. And you can enjoy social occasions without feeling guilty and spiraling back into your old habits. And people notice too, at 20, 25% body fat, you look, but at 15%, you look like you train, you look like you take your health seriously, and you look like someone who respects themselves, and that's why at 15%, everything changes. Okay, so at that level of body fat, your health markers improve massively. Your blood sugar control improves, your cholesterol drops, your heart and lung, they just work more efficiently. Your hormones, testosterone, leptin, ghrelin, they all come back into balance, and you're not battling that, those insane hunger pangs you get, when you're at single digit body fat. You're not starving yourself, you're fueled. Sleep gets better, your energy levels just improve, okay? Your confidence follows from that as well, and that bleeds into your work, your relationships, your social life, your training. It all compounds. And it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing as well. And that's why getting in shape is so, so important for your entire life. And here's the part no one really talks about. Your social life changes as well once you're in shape. If you get down to a respectable level of body fat, you walk differently, you carry yourself differently. People pick up on that before you even open your mouth. If friends start asking you, bro, what are you doing, man? You look different. Girls notice too, not just the aesthetics, but because you've disciplined yourself into a stronger version of you, and you stop blending into the background, you start standing out, you stop being average. Yeah, and it unlocks more confidence within you. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you no longer avoid the mirrors. Yeah, you no longer dread summer like I used to. You can walk into a room and you feel like you belong there. And this isn't about arrogance. This is about self-respect, and it's not about vanity. This is about identity. And honestly, man, people feel that. They feel your energy. Now, you're probably thinking, well, if 15% is good, what about 10%? What if I get shredded? Here's the truth. Getting down to single-digit body fat, life gets harder for you. So leptin, which is basically the fullness hormone, drops big time. Basically, leptin tells your brain, we've got enough energy stored, you can relax. But when your body fat gets really low, leptin levels drop, okay? Your brain panics, and thinks it's starving. Suddenly, you're hungrier more than ever, your cravings go crazy and your metabolism actually slows down to try and conserve your energy. That's why, it's not that nice. When I got to single digit body fat, you feel cold, you feel drained, you're just obsessed with food 24/7. I can't really explain it, but it's just on your mind around the clock. And on top of that, cortisol, your stress hormone, goes up. When it's high, it can make you anxious, can make you edgy, can make you restless. And worse, it encourages your body to cling to belly fat, which is the exact area that you're probably trying to lose fat from. You might look like a magazine cover for a few weeks, but inside, you're going to feel awful. Okay, you might feel okay. I don't know, but for me, I was always tired, I was irritable, always hungry. And that's why I think that when guys, who are overweight, they crash diet down to 10%, they rebound quickly right back up. But if you get to a level, 14, 15%, that's the sweet spot. You can live there. Okay, you're lean enough that you look really good, especially if you train. Yeah, your muscles define, your waist is slimmer, your confidence is through the roof. Yeah, but also it's sustainable. It's not super restrictive. You still have energy. You still, you sleep better. Your hormones are balanced, and you can actually, live your life the way you want to without sacrificing everything and feeling trapped, by your diet. So how do you get to that sweet spot? Okay, so 3 pillars. Okay, the first one, calorie deficit. You can't out-train a bad diet. You need to track your intake, create a consistent and moderate calorie deficit. Okay. The second thing is protein. Okay. 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Okay. It protects your muscles, helps you stay full and recover faster as well. And the next thing is weights and low intensity cardio. Okay. So strength training keeps the muscle and cardio accelerates the fat loss without starving yourself. Okay. And that's the formula, just those 3 things. It's simple. Not saying it's easy, but it works every single time. And if you're stuck, it's usually because you're lying to yourself about your food intake, or maybe you're relying on, cardio alone, or you're ignoring protein, or you're not training, you're not lifting weights. If you fix those things, progress just happens, okay? It becomes inevitable. Getting to 15%, it's not just about losing fat, okay? It's about becoming someone else, because once you've seen yourself, at that level, okay, you can't unsee it. You've done it, you've achieved it, and you'll never settle for being that guy who just hides under these oversized clothes ever again. You shouldn't want to become that person. And once you become someone better, and your identity changes from someone who's trying to lose weight to someone who is fit and disciplined and trains like an athlete. That's the real win, man. The external body is just proof of the internal transformation. So here's my challenge to you. Okay. Stop chasing perfection. Stop obsessing over getting to single digit body fat. Just focus on hitting, that 15% mark. Because once you do, everything changes. Your health, your energy, your confidence, your social life. You stop just existing and you start living like the man you were meant to be. And 15%, is that threshold. Cross it and nothing in your life will ever be the same again. I'm rooting for you, man. I believe in you, even if you don't. Anyway, thanks for watching. My newsletter's in the description. I'd appreciate it if you checked it out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.